Hey everybody, it's another day here at the 4th Street Chop Shop, and this is our latest victim for chopping. The 67 Mustang parts car to go with the project car from the last video. Yeah, and she's a real prize. God, been in the junkyard probably 20 years, maybe longer. If you can see that or not, but the inspection sticker is 1989. So what's that, 34 years it's been off the road? Most people look at it and go, man, there ain't nothing left of that car. But you know, this one, it's got a lot of stuff that my car needs. I mean, my car doesn't have any of this suspension stuff. I need the brake rod from that master cylinder. There's the throttle linkage, the sway bar setup, and a lot of hardware. Like I have this from my car, but I don't have any of this hardware. All of these little bolts right here, I don't have any of those. So all that stuff, I don't have these pieces for the shocks. Door hinges, I only have one pair, so here's the other pair. And who knows what else we're going to find in there that's usable. I'm sure there's going to be some more stuff. But you know, everything. Oh yeah, steering column. I still have to go back and pick up the actual column. This is just the shaft and steering box. But I got to get the column from my buddy once he digs it out. Plus I have to get the V8 motor mount brackets. This was a 289 two-barrel car. And yeah, she's shot. You open the trunk and there's just nothing. See what I mean? Nothing. I might take the letters off the trunk lid even. But yeah, we're gonna start hacking chunks off of it. So that's the project for today. See how far we get. I don't know, I got a few hours here to work with it. Be nice if those bucket seat frames weren't completely rotted out. I have a set, but one of them is broken. And I'm sure I could weld it, but you know, it'd also be nice to have a backup set. Well, let's get started. Okay, it's getting dark, so I think I'm going to call it a day. I managed to get a lot of bits and pieces off. I got the hood latch mount, the steering column, steering linkage, what do you got? Hood hinges. There's the suspension from passenger side. Managed to get all that off. The driver's side was giving me a hard time. One of the upper control arm bolts is spinning, so my solution was just to torch off the top. I should have filmed that. That might have been entertaining. It's a really bad idea, and I don't advise anybody to do it because that spring, you know, it's got a lot of stored energy in it, and when the top pops, it can pop violent. I still got to pull out the seats and some stuff out of the dashboard and a few other little bits and pieces. I want to pull the trunk lid off just because I want the hardware and the rear wiring harness. Here's a bunch of the stuff that came out of it. Apparently somebody wanted the regulator and glass out of that door at one point and just cut the whole door wide open. There's drum brakes there. This fender is not great, but it's probably usable. But of course, I already have a passenger side fender. What I need is a driver's side fender. But yeah, that's it for tonight, and I'll pick it up again tomorrow. Alright, so it's the next day. Hopefully the wind isn't too bad out here for you guys. Back on it. Got the front end lifted up so I can get the lower control arms out, strut rods, stuff like that, sway bar mounts. we'll just keep at it. Alright, so the engine compartment's pretty well stripped. I got the lower control arms, upper control arms, springs, the crossbar for the frame rails. Not really sure what that does. I think it's just a structural bolt in. And the front sway bar. I'm not going to worry about the battery tray, because I have a better one. I'm going to pull out the master cylinder, mainly because I want the push rod that activates it. And that's it for the engine compartment. And then I'll move on to stripping out the dash. I might try and pull these seats out to see if the frames are any good, but I need like the wiring and some of these, like the light switch there. I'm going to grab that shifter, gas pedal, heater controls, and I'm probably going to grab the wiring to the taillights, and that's pretty much it. Then this one can go off to the happy hunting grounds. Off to be made into razor blades. Alright, well, it's getting dark and I think I'm going to be done for today. Still got some wiring to get out of the dash. I pulled the one seat. I'll probably go ahead and pull the other one. I think the frames are solid, reasonably solid. Might be able to be fixed if there's a problem. But yeah, it's getting real close. I said I got to pull the dashboard out. I got to pull the wiring out. Disconnect the master cylinder from the brake pedal, because I want the master cylinder push rod for manual brakes. And a few other little bits and pieces. The wiring for the taillights. And I think that's it. But I won't be back on it tomorrow, I don't think, because it's going to rain. So maybe the next day. And then after that, off to the scrapper. Alright. See you all tomorrow, or Friday, or Saturday, or whenever. Well, it's another day at the chop shop, and I think we're just about done chopping this one. That's a lot of stuff. I don't know how much of it I'm going to use on the other car, but better to have too much than not enough, right? So, tomorrow, off to the scrapyard. I hear they're paying $8 a hundred right now. So, considering I paid nothing for the car, that'll pay me back for the gas I used to haul it out of the junkyard, pretty much. Well, that's about it for this one. I'll wrap it up here. Tell your friends, like, share, subscribe, all the good YouTube stuff. And we'll see you next time on 4th Street Chop Shop.